Hi, welcome to the small shed, where if I don't find something to do in the next 10 or 15 minutes, we won't have a video this week. See you in a minute. Now I've just come back from 2 weeks holiday. It's been nearly 3 weeks since we've been at home, and it's certainly been over 3 weeks since I've been in the shed, and I've just walked into the usual chaos that's in here. It's Wednesday afternoon. I need to get a video out on Friday, so there's a bit of work to do to find that. And I've had a brilliant holiday, but I've not spent 1 second, I don't think, thinking about anything to do with the shed, making things or anything. So it's been a good break from that point of view, but from the point of view of content for the shed videos, not so good, because I'd used up all of my buffer stock that was pretty meagre anyway because of all the IT things I'd had going on a couple of months ago, and I've used up all my last bits of video while I've been away putting out those. So it left me with nothing physically that I could start within a couple of days and get very far with, I don't think. Fortunately, while I've been on holiday, I was watching a couple of YouTube videos of people that I watch, if you like, one of which was Ben Crow at Crimson Guitars, who has just been doing a complete workshop makeover in his home sort of studio that's probably about 4 times the size of this. And when I walked back into the shed this morning, it hit me that that is exactly what I need to do. What's happened is that the emphasis over the last few months has been on the garage and on Hetty, and as ever, anything that's left over or that shouldn't be in there gets moved somewhere else, and the last resting place of all the rubbish that's left is back in the shed again. So I've spent the morning just starting to sort of get stuff back into the right places, had a think about it. What I need to do is have a bit of a cull on things that I don't really need, get a bit ruthless. I've got 2 hand electric planers. One of them's 110 volt, which I don't really need. The other one I'm not sure I need because I haven't used it in the last 7 years, probably. I've probably used it once or twice. That then brings into question whether I need any 110 volt stuff. I've got the big SD drill, which is 110 volt. But I've got all the lighting that I used on the shed work down at Menin Sheds when we did the mezzanine floor, but I don't need that anymore. I've got no major projects on here that need that. I've got the planer, and I think I've got a couple of other things and some cabling. Now at the moment all the lights are down at Menin Sheds, so if I bring those back that's going to create me another problem. So I think it's time to let all the 110 volt stuff go and get rid of that. So that's a start. Just sorted out some of the MacPack cases with bolts in, and again this is what's going on at the moment. There's a sort of a flux between moving stuff in and out of the garage to here. Bolts and nuts and washers and things probably should belong in the garage. There's now a bit of storage there, so they're moving over there. Stuff's coming out of the garage into here. I'm trying to sort of separate. The angle grinder, for instance, is probably better suited in the garage. Trying to get to the point where I've got metal and metalworking type things in the garage, wood and woodworking type things in the shed. So that's where we are. But let's just have a look at the bench at the moment, see where we are with that, and it'll show you what we're going to do today. So here's the current state in the shed, which is not as bad as it has been. I've got all the Titan jointer planer thicknesser that I've been playing with on the floor. That is now got the motor mounted and was very close, and in fact that was what I was hoping I might be able to get sorted as a video for this week, but I just haven't had the time since I've come back from holiday to get that up to the next stage, which is to try and test it and see if it actually works in its new configuration. So that'll probably be in a week or two's time. What I have been doing is sorting out some of the loose stuff that's been a bugbear to me ever since I moved into the shed. There are chisels and planes which I want to get access to. At the moment the planes are in a Mac pack and some are on the floor. I've just had a Stanley 5 that I've got to clean up, but that's probably better than the other one I had. I bought a cheap one, but I've got a nice relatively old Stanley to do up. But I want to make something to store all the planes where I can get at them, and the alternatives at the moment were probably over there on that wall to make some sort of a store for them. Screwdrivers and chisels were the other thing. I've got the screwdrivers in the cupboard at the moment. I thought I might put the planes in the cupboard and move the screwdrivers, but that's all up in the air at the moment. Chisels, I don't really think I need 3 sets, but I'm just going to put some storage up and then I can make the decision later. Again, they want cleaning up and tidying up and sharpening, but until I've got somewhere to put them, these have just been lying around on top of worktops and everything for the last year, well 18 months, maybe even 2 years, and I can never quite find the right one because they've fallen down the back. I've been playing around with bits of wood, and I think the best thing is, as usual, the simplest. I'm just going to cut a long slot in some wood like that and have them to hold like that. Maybe have something along the bottom so I don't catch and hurt myself with. I think that's probably the idea. First of all, I need some timber. This seems relatively useful and ideal. It's some of the stuff I had on an IKEA trolley that I took apart when we did my wife's workroom. I've got a couple of lengths left, I think, somewhere in here. Yeah, up on the top shelf I've got some more of that. So I'm just going to do a fairly simple job of routing a slot. I'll cut it roughly to length where I want to put it, route a slot in it, and as I say, I may go to the extent of putting it to go through a slot there and just rest in a groove at the bottom. So favourite at the moment is to mount these chisels on the doors of this cabinet. The idea is that I will cut 2 of these, one either side, that will go on about there, and you just drop the chisel in. So I'll have the sets on the doors, and I may even, I've got 3 sets, as I say, one of which I don't think I need, but I do hate moving things and throwing them away. I may put a set on the end there as well, because it should still allow me to use the light switch. We'll have a think about that one. So let's measure that up first and then cut the wood to length, and then we can do the groove in the middle, and then we should be on our way. Take your tape out. That is just a smidge under 240mm in the recessed bit, which is where I should be putting it. Cut that to length. You'll see I've also got rid of the computer out of here. That wasn't surviving very well in the dusty environment that you get in here. That's gone out into the garage, so as I say, there's this constant moving between the two. I've sorted out some of the bits of timber. There's 2 types actually. There's what was the, I think the bottom rail, or the, I'm not sure whether it was the top rail or the bottom rail, which has got a groove in it, and there's a rail which has no grooves in it. And what I'm going to do, I think, is to cut the top one out of that and the bottom one out of of that one so that I can, as I say, put them so they slot through a hole and will just sit into that groove. Right, I've rounded the end tops over. It's not ideal this, but it would have been better to have done this on the router table, but I can't get at the router table because it's full of planes and chisels, so it's a bit of a chicken and egg thing. But it holds the chisels now. They are slightly top heavy, so I am going to need to put something underneath. I'm just going to tidy them up and start and find a bit of finish that will make them the same colour as the rest. Do this bottom rail and then we can fix them and we're done. Right, with a little fettling, that's got it as close as I'm going to. It's not perfect, but it'll work. But I'm happy enough with that. I'll get the other one on now, and then all I've got to do then is get some stain onto the last bits that are there, but not where it's been cut. And I've found a stain that I think a little bit of work will get me pretty much a blend in with that, I think. Yep, given that it's end grain anyway, but I think that'll work. So I'll just get this one finished, get the other one on, and we'll come back to you hopefully when it's finished. Right, so that's that job finished. Another one out the way. It's not particularly pretty, it's not particularly clever, but it's functional, it serves its purpose, it does what I want it to do. I've now got the chisels out the way, safe, where I'm not going to hurt myself on them, nor am I going to get them damaged particularly. They all want to clean now and a sharpen, but we can deal with that one at a time, so that's something I can just nibble at as I go along. I changed my mind halfway through, as often with these things. Rather than have a set there, a set there and a set there, that was always going to be a problem opening against the tool rack with the clamps in it. So I've managed to get them all in on one spot there, and I'm not even sure I need that many chisels anyway, because there's an awful lot of repetition in there. So I may well cull one of the sets. That one's particularly badly damaged. But then it gives me the room to put in some other ones later on. So that's the tool storage sorted out there. The only thing I've got to deal with now is all the end caps from the chisels. I don't want to throw them away in case I use them for taking them out and about in a tool bag or anything, but I've got to find somewhere to put those so I'll be able to find them again. Hope it was of interest. Look forward to seeing you next week. We'll try and be doing something different. I'll see you then. Bye.